Stay at home and save the world. There are moments when one feels like a suitcase on a never ending conveyor belt of a large airport that nobody collects. There was a virus called coronavirus. That virus had made that both teachers and students had to be at home, being protected from the infection. At those moments, a teacher decided to see if there will be a way to be infected not by a bad virus, but a great one. Could you imagine a virus that could make us happier? And how will we know that we have been infected with that virus? Have you ever heard about chakras? Chakras are the seven centers of spiritual power housed within each human body. The crown chakra gives access to higher states of consciousness as we open to what is beyond our personal preoccupations and visions. So that you understand it, it helps you becoming a better person. And being a better person also means more happiness. Could we make a happiness test for the planet? Well, certainly, if we did it, we should see the fullness of the soul in the eye of an Indian. Do you see the Indian? Do you see the animals inside the Indian? Well, I'm going to explain it later. Don't worry. Well, here we have the Indian. Well, I know you don't see it yet. Here we have the mouth. Okay, that's the tongue. Okay, then here we have the nose of the Indian. Here we have the chin. Okay, I don't know if you see the feathers here of the Indian. Well, that's all the face somehow. Okay, and well, this will be the eye. Okay, and well, here we will have some hair. Okay, well, those will be the feathers, you know. I don't know if you know, if you already can see the Indian, you know. Well, and I don't know if you're able to distinguish that this piece, this piece here with the eye here, you know, it is like somehow what I call the eye of the Indian. And yes, we are going to do our happiness Rochard test inside the eye of the Indian. Do you see that it is the same piece? Yes, of course. Well, there are a lot of blots. Okay, do you see the blots? Yes, no? Well, little by little, we will see what can we identify in those blots. Don't worry, you are going to know what I mean in just a few minutes. Do you see that we have here a bear? Let me show you. I am going to mark here the eye. Okay, that will be the ear. Okay, we will have here the nose. Okay, that will be the nose. And well, we will have here the arm. Okay, and well, the hand here, I mean, that's the hand. Okay, and here all the arm of the bear. What it will be, the mouth will come here. Okay, so that you are able to see it. But of course, well, not with that smile, it is a bear. Okay, so we will erase that smile so that you are able to see the bear. Well, do you see it? Yes, no? Okay. Well, the bear is going to symbolize protection because mother bears are quite protective with their cubs. By now, you are able to understand that what somehow we are testing is a balance, okay? A balance of several strengths. For example, here you have a dolphin that is going to symbolize union. Why dolphins will symbolize union? Well, you can see that while they are jumping into the sea, they are uniting the sky with the earth. Well, that's a metaphor, of course, because it is the sky with the sea. Okay? Well, as you can see, an explanation is required, to understand all this balance, because I don't know if you know it, but somehow animal symbols, like, let's say, that have a positive meaning in one culture while they are having a negative meaning in another, well, I'm not based on anything, but logic. Okay, so for example, why a horse is symbolizing offering? Well, it is easy because the horse offers its freedom to the Indian. For me, the moon symbolizes fidelity. Okay. Do you see that I have turned the moon into a dolphin? The moon is white or black depending on the sun, but it accompanies us even when we cannot see it. That is why, for me, it symbolizes fidelity. Do you see the moon? Well, let's see if you are able to see it in the plots. Let me help you. Well, first, try it, okay? And then, well, here I help you. The dolphin snout, what is, so that you understand it, the nose, and well, here the tail, okay? If happiness is a state of mind for enjoying something good, fidelity is the constancy of an idea. And I think that one thing leads to another. Okay, so yes, I consider that it is, let's say, that a strength very important, very relevant to somehow be happy. But don't get me wrong, it doesn't mean only fidelity. I mean, as a couple, okay? It also means fidelity in, I don't know, like, for example, the pillars of your life. We can also distinguish a manatee, okay? Well, what I call a playful manatee, that is going to somehow symbolize a lie. Do you see the manatee? Sometimes you can find manatees playing They come up to the surface, riding the waves and doing barrel rolls. Well, they are really, let's say, creatures that are totally adorable, very calm and gentle. Do you understand why manatees represent a life? Because, well, they act together and they protect one another. Yeah? If you have an ally, you have someone who is on your side. Okay, and now we are going to try to look for a coyote that is going to symbolize realism. Coyotes, when it's very cold in the woods, they get to the towns and to the cities and they look for food in the garbage. That is the reason why I chose them to represent realism. Somehow it is better to do that than to die. Well, it is going to be easy to understand that I chose a parrot to symbolize communication. I don't have to explain anything. Well, do you see the parrot right there? Do you see the beak? Well, do you see it there in the plots? Well, let me help you with the beak so that you can focus. The beak is going to be there, okay? Are you able to see it? Okay, great. Well, now we are going to focus on finding a dove that is going to be a love symbol. Let's say like unconditional love. You know that doves symbolize peace and also love. So well, do you see it there? It is easy. Well, a whale right now is going to symbolize simplicity. No hunting, only opening its mouth, it finds the food, the nurturing, in the sea. As such a large animal feeds on marine plank, it is very, very simple. The last animal that we are going to find is a turtle that is going to symbolize temperance because somehow turtles have the power to teach us to have gentleness and calmness in our lives, no matter how chaotic or loud it gets. Okay, we have seen what is going on, you know, inside the eye of the Indian. Well, I have to tell you, if there is a balance between all the strengths that symbolize that the animals are symbolizing them, okay, do you see here the nose of the Indian? Well, I'm going to tell you, look, that nose of the Indian is going to become the arm of a bear, okay? The whole arm with here the hand of the bear. Do you appreciate it? Well, also we are going to see different parts of all the animals. For example, the feathers of the pigeon, okay? That could also be for example, the skin of the dolphin that is like white, okay? Then also, here we have the leg of the horse, okay? Do you appreciate it? Well, do you appreciate that it is going to appear also, for example, the shell of the turtle? Well, all the animals are going to be there. Oh, the hair of the coyote, absolutely everything. And, well, that that nose that is going to become a hand, it is trying to somehow get the tongue of the Indian. There is an expression in Spanish that it says tirar de la lengua del indio. Okay, so let's say that balance that you have somehow reached, with all the strengths of those animals. When you have somehow got to that balance, that balance is going to make the Indian like get out several bad spirits that you are going to find here, so they are inside of the Indian, but let me help you, to see all that. Well, do you appreciate that here appear somehow the same bad spirits that are going to be here? These are the bad spirits. They are described as the four horsemen of the apocalypse in some cultures, as evil in some others. They are inside all of us, Let's say that they are that part of the human being that makes the world go like crazy, The different passions like anger, pride, deception, envy come from them. Through the realization of an inner transformation, somehow uh, starts that way to happiness. There is a scream that, as if it was a wave, can sweep against death, injustice, falsehood, eyes closed, damage, and instability. Well, now you know that my path to happiness consists on getting that balance with all the good strengths and then to put aside the bad spirits. For me, it works. After doing all this, you are able to live deliberately, to put aside all that is not life and be happy. Could you imagine that all this, could somehow be transformed, that canvas, into a virus, a wonderful virus that could make us happier? Well, I have been working as an art teacher in my classes, to create that virus, and that is going to save the world. But it seems that something has been wrong. Probably it was already predicted by my students. Look what they did.
Hello guys, so today we're gonna try to do an experiment to help our world to make it better so there's no contamination. Ah! Oh my goodness, look what I've done! Horrible, I ruined the world. Well, let's try again, let's see what happens. Here are my friends calabacitis.
Are we going to be able to save it then? Please help us. Remember that it is a virus. Remember that we can only see them, with a microscope. And remember that they have in their hands the possibility of saving this world. Urso is going to have the properties of the bear. It is going to infect protection. Kino is going to have the properties of the horse. It is going to infect offering to the world. The properties of the coyote that, well, remember, was able to get inside the towns and look in the garbages of the towns and cities, to have food, is going to be in Croco, that is going to infect realism. Then the properties of the moon dolphin are going to be in Lunini, that is going to infect fidelity. Remember that the playful manatee properties will be in Manatito, that is going to infect a lie. The properties of the parrot, remember, communication, are going to be in Parolo. The properties of the whale are going to be with Trompo, okay, that is going to infect simplicity. Philly is going to be the in charge of infecting love, like the dove. Kelo is going to be in charge of infecting temperance, like the turtle. And Delpho is going to be in charge of infecting union, like the dolphin. Well, take into account all their properties and try to save the world with that wonderful virus that will totally transform all this disaster.